am going to, first of all, put some recognition out for Team Win. You guys put your clapping hands together. Just put in the chat. Cindy asked me, did you have 22 people qualify from Mexico? 22 people are invited to Mexico. 23. Oh my gosh, absolutely amazing. Brand new crystal manager, Carla Green. Top enrollers last week for Team Win: Ann White, Jennifer Adhlakha, Joanna Self, Kaylee Varga, Sophia Potter, Holly Kirsch, Katie Flanagan, Live Beautiful with Lori, Jen Mathieson, and Tara Zamora. All have 3 plus enrollments. You guys are absolutely amazing. Team Win. I know we have a brand new consultant under Kristen Harina. Congratulations, that happened like minutes ago. Top enrollers: Chris MacArthur, Michelle Wall Weaver, Tara Patton, Jenny Thompson, Julie Carroll, Xana Mates, Kathy Durnick, Alicia Comone, Michelle Wilson, Misty Little, Rick Whitlock, Sabrina Looney, and Laura Laurie. Amazing, amazing. And that was before the promo. We can only imagine to see what you all do this week with these incredibly generous Black Friday through Cyber Monday specials. I will tell you, I've been with the company for 8 years. Cindy's been with them even longer, and I've never seen this like 8-day special. I mean, y'all need to just take e-shots and Via and stay up late and tell the world, because it is that generous. So I'm going to read to you Cindy's bio, because I want to make sure that we edify her to the absolute fullest. And then I'm going to give you just a little bit of a personal introduction as well. But Cindy and Michael, her husband, look them up. They're the most beautiful couple. They have been married for 32 years. Cindy is another fellow fitness instructor. She taught for 33 years. She joined Isagenix in 2006 and says, we've been loving this amazing nutrition in our bodies for over 15 and a half years. I mean, you guys, that's a long time. That's amazing. And that's such a testament to these products and the opportunity. So Cindy and Michael are 7-figure income earners. They're multiple 7-figure income earners. She's won many, many awards, including the Leadership Pool Earners. She was a top 10 leader in action for almost 2 years after they launched it. And Isagenix Woman of the Year in 2014. She's helped create more than 20 executives. She is a 9-star platinum, 8-star crystal executive. You guys, that's amazing. So here's the fun part. We're going to put all this together. And I want to tell you, this is Janny Elo's sponsor. So many of you got to know Janny just recently at the mastermind, or she was on our call about 2 months ago. And what you'll often hear from Jess and I is we had the Yin and Yang membership. I mean, we were so blessed to have Cindy and Janny in our corners. You guys have no idea what our Sunday nights looked like in the first few months, because we went so fast. But Janny was kind of the drill sergeant, and she would just bark these orders at us. And Jess and I were trying to do math and divide retail profits to counter cycle matches, and we really had no idea. And Cindy would just call us and say, good job, are you guys okay? You're doing a good job. And Jessica would say, you know, if Cindy says we're doing a good job, we must do something right. But they are the most beautiful couple. Cindy is like the light in Isagenix. I mean, outside of her just absolute contagious laugh, you will never hear one single person say anything but positive things about Cindy. She is the reason I found my faith, and it is a complete honor to have you on here tonight, Cindy. And you're muted though. I muted you.
Oh, okay, am I unmuted?
You're unmuted.
Oh, Lauren, and that last part is the most important to me, and I just love you with my whole heart, and I'm so grateful. So grateful. God, now I'm gonna start off crying. I don't mean to. No, thank you for that beautiful introduction. What a privilege. I mean, I hear those things. I can't even believe all that God has done in this last 15 years, and it's gone by like a snap of the finger. And I just am so grateful to be here tonight with all of you. And my heart is just to, whatever I can bring to encourage you, to give you confidence, to give you faith, to embolden your spirit, to move you forward and help you. That's my heart tonight. That's really what I want to do. And I just feel so grateful. We are so grateful every single day that we said yes to Isagenix. And we are so grateful for our big, dynamic, incredibly talented team of leaders and partners. and that we're all doing this together. We're all driving together. And I just want to say congratulations to everyone that won the trip to Mexico. That's fantastic. You guys, that is really awesome. More than 30 people on your teams total together. And what a blessing. What a fun thing to do right before Christmas too. So congratulations. Good job. That's what I would say. Is Jen on the call? Good job, Jen. But good job, all of you. Yes.
Oh my gosh, so fun. So I was texting Cindy over the weekend, and where she could train in front of thousands and thousands of people on any single thing on the company, whether it was company history or products or connecting or compensation. And I said, I really just want them to hear your story. I want you to kind of share what you've seen and witnessed over all these years. And I know we did this with Janie as well. And this is not to be like boisterous, but just to see the magnitude and the depth and how generous our compensation plan is, that there is no generational cutoff, and that some of the people that are going to absolutely change your business, you may not be the one to enroll them, and that you benefit from all of that and you can serve them. I mean, Jess and I are so far down in Cindy's organization, and the leadership pools at the time that capped at 4 PET, like 4 levels down, neither Jess and I were in them. And Cindy, I mean, flew to both of our cities to mentor us, to help us as if she personally enrolled us. But in her organization, Tanya Kirkpatrick, Trudy Maples, Betsy Frame, Jill Bowman, Kelly Dickerhoof, Jannie Elo, Jessica Rigner, you know, me. And then even within these teams, you know, we think about the newest millionaire in the team, Adrian McGovern, and it just goes on and on. And so there's so much wisdom, there's so much experience from just being in the trenches and working with so many beautiful leaders. So the first thing, Cindy, I would love for you to tell, because many people don't know anything about you, because we have so many new people and people that have joined just for college in, except that you are the one that got Janie started. I mean, so then it was kind of like, wait, who's Cindy? And like, we just know the story of Janie wanting to get into her clothes. But if you can talk a little bit about how Isagenix was introduced to you, what made you really just go for it? Like, I want them to hear your story. It's so powerful.
Okay, well, yes, I have the privilege of God totally brought Janie to me. Like if she had a bow on her head, it couldn't have been a sweeter gift for sure. But I got started about 18 months before I was able to get Janie started. And like Lauren said, I was a fitness instructor teaching fitness. I was teaching 8 to 12 classes a week. We have a big family. We have 8 children. We have adopted 5 of them, raised them their whole lives, and we have 3 more children. They're all our nieces and nephews, and we've raised them their whole lives. And so we had this huge, big, busy family. And my husband was a pharmaceutical rep for 24 years. And the first 11 years of our marriage, he traveled 4 nights a week away from home. So for a lot of those years when our kids were little, I was flying solo at home for 4 nights a week with all these kids. Everybody played sports. We were in school. I was teaching. I mean, life, like, I don't even know how I did it by the grace of God all those years ago. I can't even imagine it, but it was just, we were so busy all the time. And you know what that's like. I know a lot of you on the call tonight, you've got children, you've got families, you've got a busy life, and probably a lot of the people you're talking to too are like, my life's too busy, I could never do it. I mean, I felt that way. I had less than no time. But I had an issue going on with my body. I mean, I was teaching, I was doing all right things, eating organic, but I had 12 sticky pounds in my body I couldn't lose no matter what I did. And I was doing all the right things. I knew all the right things to do. And my girlfriend Doris started doing Isagenix. And Doris had taken my class for like 20 years. We were such good friends. And I saw it physically changing her body. And that is the beauty of what we have to offer people with Isagenix. We have life-changing nutrition that changes people's physical bodies. I mean, you can wear it like a billboard. And that's what Doris was doing. And I was watching it change her physical stature. I was watching her mood improve, her energy, all of it. And I wanted it day one. But financially, while we were raising this big family, not only was I completely exhausted, burning the candle at both ends, needed more energy, had a brain fog till 3 p.m. and carrying extra weight, but I also financially, we were drowning in debt. I was a yes mom with all those kids, and just taking care of everybody in our lives except for myself. I'm sure a lot of you are the same way, or you started. That was certainly where we were at. So I didn't even feel like financially I could take that money for myself and do anything. So it was 8 months of Doris every weekend saying, when are you going to do isogenics, and telling me about it and wanting me to do it. And I'm like, I want to do it, Doris. Give me a bar, give me a shake. Let me try something. She never did. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, your good friend. She's like, no, you have to sign up. If you're going to start, you have to sign up. And I was like, at that time, there was a $50 membership fee too, so it was just like a lot of hurdles, but God's timing is perfect. And we just got to the place where, we were just, like one Thursday night, we were getting ready to go out. It was in the summer, right before my birthday, probably 2 weeks before my 42nd birthday. I'm upstairs in my closet trying to put on a pair of jeans, and I'd only had a salad that day. And my tummy was bloated, my jeans were tight. I was like, Lord, I can't eat less and work out more. I can't take care of everybody in my life. I need you to take care of me. I don't have enough time to take care of myself. There's a whole world full of skinny, healthy people out there. Can't I just be one of them? I just want to be thin. I don't want to worry about it. And I just felt, I was just like in tears, crying. And that next Saturday morning, I went to class, and Doris said it again. What are you going to do isogenics? I said, today I'm going to do isogenics, Doris. So I followed her home, and I pulled out my nearly maxed out credit card that I spent money on everybody else in my life every single day, never myself. And I bought enough product for myself, my husband, 2 of my teenage girls, and my sister Gretchen. And we all got started on a 9-day cleanse. And that's all they had back then. It was just as they were starting to have the 30-day system. And my husband was like, it's fine. I know you need it. I need it too. He had 40 extra pounds on his body. We all needed it. And so we got the product and literally put it in our bodies. And we can't make claims, that I'm not even supposed to say how many days, but you can figure out the math, because I just told you it was a 9-day plus 2 days to set your body up for success. But in that first system, 7.5 of those 12 sticky pounds just melted off my body. And within another 5 days, the rest of that 12.5 sticky pounds came off my body. And I went on to lose actually over 20 pounds with isogenics. And at 42, got myself back to what I weighed as a college cheerleader when I was 20 years old. And I was like, whoa, this stuff is amazing. And I walked back into the club, and everybody's like, what the heck did you do? How can you look like that? I just saw you a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, it's that stuff Doris is talking about. And my girlfriends were like, I don't care what it is, get it for me. And it was just because, they saw it, so I just want to encourage you girls, encourage the guys, everybody. If you're a little stagnated in your business, go back and do the first things again. Fall in love with that product. Let it transform your body. Be a walking, talking billboard for it. Let people see it and be excited about it. Because if it does that much to change your outside, think of what it's doing on a cellular level on your inside. So to say the least, I was fired up. I was excited about it. It shifted my mindset, because the whole time my friend Doris was like, before I put the product in my body, she's like, Cindy, you should do this with me. We could make a lot of money doing this together. And she just kept saying that over and over. And to me, that was like, it was like nails on a chalkboard, because I was like, Doris, I don't want my friends to feel like I'm trying to make money off them. And she couldn't really explain it to me, and I didn't really understand. But once I put it into my body, it changed everything, because it wasn't about what it was going to do for me if they did it. It was about what I could help them do for them. And I just want to encourage you that that's the mindset that all of us need to have as we build our business all the time, is that it's about what we're offering people. People need what Isagenix offers. People need better health and wellness. And this COVID climate, especially, nothing is more important than keeping your body healthy right now. Wouldn't you agree? And Isagenix does that. It makes eating healthy easy, and the products work. And so I just started to have friends that wanted to do it before I even looked at the opportunity. And then, but at the same time, before we started the product, 4 months prior, my husband, Michael, had come to me and he said, honey, I love you. I love that you love staying home with the kids and you love teaching fitness. It's great, but you continue to spend more money than I can make. So you need to go back to work full time, like corporate America full time. And I had done that for many years before I came home with our kids. And I love business and I love people. And I had success in business, but I knew what that meant. Early morning meetings, late night events, just like when you're in sales and marketing and things like that, you never like really leave it at the office. It's always on your mind. And I had this big family of kids that really needed me to be at home, and he was traveling. I was like, that's not going to work. Our family is going to implode. So I had already been looking, and I had already been praying about, Lord, what can I do? You know, I didn't want to go back to corporate America because I loved my freedom. I had so much freedom. Even though I was busy, I was getting my workouts in every day. You know, I had a lot of freedom in between to kind of come and go as I pleased and get things done and not be 9 to 5 behind a desk. And so I was really open. And when we had this great experience on the products, I was open, and it just kind of started generically. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But that's really where it started for me. And I think for Janny, Kelly, for a handful of the gals that really came on and linked arms with me from the beginning as we really built this team. And I mean, again, I want to give God the glory because he brought me, you know, Lauren and Jessica, Janny, Kelly, all these beautiful powerhouse women. And that's the beauty of this business. Most of us never knew each other before we started. And now we have the sweetest, richest, deepest friendships. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And that's something that you don't even realize when you're starting all of this, really the depth of what all of this is going to mean, not only for your life, but for your children, for your family, for the families that you invite to partner with you. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So we all kind of started there. We were kind of tired, grouchy, a little on edge, chubby moms that needed more energy and just like Janny says, unlock our closets so that we could wear what was in our closet and just feel great. And that's where it started.
I love it. If you guys aren't excited, you just talk to her and you want to go reach out to people and figure out who is a chubby mom praying for a solution. And I love when you always bring up that the friendships that are going to form for this. And it's Absolutely. True. I mean, Cindy is the type of person that was there for Jess and I when it was so unrelated to Isagenix because they really cared. She really got to know what was happening in our lives. And I have voice messages saved. Cindy, you probably don't even know this at times. And she said, I'm so sad you didn't answer. And she would just pray on my voicemail of things that were happening. And I thought, how am I so lucky to have this amazing woman in my life? And we hadn't even met in person. And that is such a special, special part of what we do. So one of the things I was hoping you could chat about is just what you've really seen over the years and with the leaders that have, stayed consistent with the highs and the lows of the company or just never paid attention to the noise and the different trends or where Isagenix has just stayed consistent. To talk about, I'm kind of lumping it in because I just want you to be able to go. But what you've seen over the years of people that you would say, when you can identify who's going to do this well, or what are some of those traits? And regardless if it was a 9-day cleanse or collagen or what it was, here's what we've seen that all of these people have been successful, and to be able to pay forward those successful clues so we can rise up that next class.
Okay, that's awesome. So I would say probably my number one is somebody that has desire. When they start, it's like, I call it a catalyst for change, that they have something inside of them that is driving them out of where they are into something more. And they might not even know that when they start, but you can kind of get a sense for that. They're hungry, they're curious, they are somebody that is asking questions, is open. I think being open is huge. Being open, being curious, someone that's asking questions, someone that has a drive in them, and somebody that has that dissonance inside of them, that catalyst for change that they want more, is huge. I think that's really where it starts. Then I really, the people that have really been successful, I mean, I think really the biggest common denominator for our leaders on this team is most of us are women of faith. So we love God. And I think that what the difference there, Kathy Cooper asked me this one time, why do you think you have so many successful leaders on your team? And why do you think they're able to weather the storms in this business better than some of these other teams? We were at like a Top Achievers event. And I just said, you know what, Kathy, I said, there's a lot of different reasons, but I think a common denominator is we all love God. And so we all know that we're all like, sinners saved by grace. We're not perfect people. Like, we don't expect perfection all the time. We know we're going to fail. And we know that failure isn't the end of the world, that there's grace that covers that. We're willing to do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility, consider others as better than ourselves, serve each other, love each other, put other people ahead of our own interests, always do what's right, what's best for the other person, and be willing to like stay in the game with people, stay in the game that, so-and-so's doing something. It's not just like, oh, she's out, I'm not dealing with that drama. Well, maybe there's something going on in that person's life, and you've got to give them some grace. You've just got to give them some space and love them through it and stand with them. And so I think that that's a huge part of it, just a persevering spirit and a willingness to grow and let God kind of enlarge your capacity. I think a lot of us, like, certainly in my situation, I mean, I had a lot going on in our lives. Like, I had less than no time, but I wanted to do this. We needed an opportunity. I didn't want to go back to corporate America. I mean, that's that catalyst for change. Like, I was open. I went to a celebration. I saw the big picture, and I'll talk about events at the end. And that changed everything for me because it made it real. And it was like, God, if you're in this, this is special. This is changing people's lives. I want to be a part of this. And I think it's that desire to do something more, to not just do it for me, but to be in it for what I can give, not just for what you can get. And so it's that kind of a drive. It's that kind of a personality. And then I would say maybe the third thing really would be the ability to really kind of lock arms with people and build a team, be able to work in tandem with others, because that's really what drove our business, were partnerships. I mean, you've seen it in Jess and Lauren. You've seen it all through your team with Lauren and Laura Lori, with, with Jess and Adrian, and Jess and Denise, and now Holly and Erica, and all these girls, and they're all partnering up and they're linking arms, whether you're financially linked or not. It creates excitement and momentum and just healthy camaraderie. It builds community around people. But that's what we did. We linked arms and we built to our strengths. Like Lauren said, for like Janie and I, Janie was a driver. She's really uncomfortable with challenging people to do hard things, to just say. I mean, I remember Lauren sharing a story like on a Super Bowl Sunday, and she like called her up and she's like, what are you doing today? And she's like, well, it's Super Bowl. I mean, we're going to go to the game. And she's like, well, you still need 3 more enrollments or something like that. Like, I would have been like, if I would have been with Janie, I would have been like, geez, what, you're such a hard butt, this is like a get to, not a have to. I could be cracking the whip. But she'd be like, no, she said she was going to do it. Like, she needs to do it. Jess did it. She can do it. And I just remembered Lauren sharing that story. And another fun story I have to share about Lauren is the Home Again promo. And she invited me as her guest. And I love you for that, Lauren. And I got to see her in action, like literally, like she was down to the wire, rank advancing. She was rank advancing herself. And I think Jen and Adam were rank advancing and someone else. And she was like a tour de force. I'm telling you. Phone call after phone call after phone call. I mean, just the verbiage down, just the invitation, I mean, just you guys are in such great hands. You have two of the most dynamic leaders on our team leading your teams. It's incredible. But that is really what makes it fun, is linking arms. Janny was fine with leaving people in hard spaces and challenge them to do hard things. And I was great at coming alongside and kind of softening some of that. And maybe like, I remember sitting with Lauren and Jess and going through their back office and their enrollments to make sure they were hitting their leadership, bonuses and all the little math and stuff. And Jeannie would just throw it my way. And then we would be up on a Sunday night, just making sure everything's working, and kind of, I was maybe the woo to bring people in, and Janny was the, now let's get to work. And this is what we're going to do. But that was awesome because we worked in partnership. And so I want to encourage you to take a look in your team, not just you two people. Like I had Bonnie and Jana, we had a team of people that were good at different things, and it made it a lot of fun. And so I would encourage you to do that on your teams, but that is one key to success. Like Kelly Dickerhoof, she's got Laura Stevens, and Lindsay Hoffer is an amazing leader on that team. And she's got Megan Marie, and they all are still working together. Trudy Maple, she's got a big, huge team of beautiful, talented women, and they all work together, leveraging their strengths.
I am so glad you brought that up. I think that when you tell the stories and you can just show how relatable that is, because when we think we're entrepreneurs, we have to do it, or we tell ourselves we're bugging somebody else, or I should know it by this point, and we really do. And the same way you and Janie work so closely with us, I mean, people definitely say very similar things about Laura and me, and Laura will call me sometimes and say, oh my gosh, this person is all over the place emotionally, please just give them a swift kick in the booty, or like I'll call her, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that person's crying, can you just call them and make sure that they know I love them? Like, my tough love is like from a good place. And it's true. And even like these calls, when Jess and I were first starting, if you went all the way back to 2013, it was before Zoom, and they were recorded on this 1-800 free conference HD line or something, conferencecall.com or something. Janny is not a trainer. This was not her expertise, and she could drive goals and boss you around and get you to do things that you would never think you would do in a great way. But forget about her training. I mean, Jess and I were one-stars. We really didn't know what we did, except she's like, do your calls. And we didn't realize part of that was because she didn't really want to do them, but they're strengths of ours. And when you can identify that in other people and say, hey, you're really good at social media, or hey, you're really good at training, or you're really good at teaching the comp plan, it makes it fun. It creates camaraderie, but it also frees up your time that you're not having to do it. So I love that you talked about that.
Yeah. And it gives everybody a place to shine too. And that's important. I mean, and it is funny that you say that, Lauren, because this is Janny too. She was so funny. One night when Jessica was just getting started, she calls me. She's like, I'm out of shake. Can you bring me over a chocolate shake? Or she said somebody else needed a shake. So I'm like, well, what's the rush? She's like, no, I need it here by 7. And I'm like, okay. So I like get in my car, drive to her house, come in the door. She grabs my arm and pulls me in. She's like, thanks for the shake. Oh, by the way, Jessica's on the phone. Could you just talk to her for a minute? And I get on the phone. I'm like, hi, Jess. And she's like, hi, I'm so excited that you can be on our team call tonight and train us for the blah, 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 or whatever. I'm like, what? And Jane's all, I've got it written out. Here's your agenda. She had literally written me out an agenda of what she wanted me to train. And I walked around that living room and talked for an hour to Jessica's brand new team. I mean, that was funny, and it was good, but that's what I love to do. I like to train. I like to encourage, and she's a goal driver. It's good. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if anyone has a funny story of where Janie bossed them around with love, you should just put it in the chat. Because she is, and with grace, you don't even realize it happened. And that's just because she's tenacious in all the wonderful ways. Okay, so one of the things that you've kind of touched on, but I want to just really hit home is the idea about this for a long-term versus short-term plan. I mean, Isagenix has never changed the original compensation plan. We've only ever added more bonuses, more money, more incentives, you know, especially to the front part of it. But Cindy and Michael have been doing this for 15 and a half years. And I want you to think about where you were 15 and a half years and everything you've done between them and how solid. And we get really excited about maxing out the director pool or the executive pool. And then it's, I'm only cycling 3 times a week or 2 times a week, and how you get from 40 to 80 to 200 to 300 and et cetera, et cetera. If you can really talk about that, I think it's super important for new people and our seasoned leaders to hear it.
Sure. Well, I mean, another exceptional detail, I think, about our team, and really a lot of strong, successful teams in Isagenix, is that none of us had prior network marketing experience. We had no experience in this industry, none. We just came in, we loved people, we wanted to serve people, we started sharing our stories, we used the tools. I mean, literally just kept it simple and started creating income. And that was really, speaks to the power of the compensation plan and how simple and generous it is. And I used to say it all the time, and it's true, that it doesn't matter. It's such a level playing field, and people could come into this business. And this is a skills-based business. It just is. It's a people business. It's a skills-based business. You can learn the skills that you need to be as completely successful as you want to be in this business. And the compensation plan is super generous. It's super generous. The Cougars have never taken anything away from the compensation plan. They continue to add to the compensation plan. And I mean, it really, you know, we didn't really even realize how exceptional Isagenix is and the opportunity that this company offers, simply because I had no background to match it up with anything else. But I will tell you this. My husband worked for a Fortune 50 pharmaceutical company. He had a great career with them for 24 years. And, but you know, it had a lot of challenges with it, and he made a good income, and we were raising our family. We are grateful for that company. We're grateful for that income, you know, all of it. But literally probably took him, I mean, and he started when he was, you know, 28 years old, and that was back in like the late 80s or whatever, but took him close to probably 12 years to earn $1 million cumulative in that company. And we were able to do that in 6 with Isagenix. It's a better business model. If you can go to work and really learn how to build a team, like Lauren said, this is the long game. I mean, I can't tell you, I mean, I will tell you what residual income has meant to our family. It's completely changed how we live. It's completely changed how Craig and Janie live, Betsy Frame and Mike, Jill Bowman, Tanya Kirkpatrick, Trudy Maples. I mean, all of us, it has just been such an incredible gift. And that same gift is what is available for you as well. Over these last couple years, we've had a lot of life. Michael and I have had a lot of life thrown across our path. I had a crazy cancer diagnosis. I have a super rare form of leukemia that came out of nowhere. The doctors told me this is a total fluke cancer that is completely random and extremely rare. And it doesn't care what you eat, how you live, what you do. It's just a little gene that goes rogue in your blood and wants to create problems, which is kind of like the story of my life, like with our kids and my sister-in-law and all that. And I won't go into it, but it was almost laughable that that's how he described it. But I will tell you that not only has this residual income been such a blessing that like my husband would have had to have traveled. We would have been working corporate jobs during this last 2 years as I'm healing my body. But we didn't have to do that because we had Isagenix. We could work from our home. We could work from wherever we were. We had so much freedom, and financially so much freedom, that was just a stress that we don't have anymore. And that was an ever-present stress in our lives before Isogenics. And I mean, we've lost friends and family. I had to go back and take care of my dad with my sister for 4 months. And like, Isogenics gave us time to take care of and be there with my mom and dad at such an important time in our lives. And there was no worries. I could love him and just love him well right into eternity. And it was just, it's beautiful and amazing. And those are the things that people don't talk about. It's not about, the money is just a vehicle. The money creates freedom and choices for families. But like Lauren said, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't. That's why I want to encourage you. You've got to learn to enjoy the process in the very beginning. You've got to have a realistic expectation that you're going to have highs and you're going to have lows, that you're not always going to have growth in your business. A business kind of ebbs and flows, just like the ocean a little bit. Sometimes you're up high on a wave and you're just riding that wave and it just feels like amazing. And then that wave takes a crash maybe, and then you got to work your way back up. That's a cycle of life, guys. Seasons of life, seasons of business. That's anywhere. And that's the same in this business too. So you've got to make a commitment. I think, like we were talking earlier, the long game, you've got to make a decision and you've got to make a commitment to stay consistent and to just keep yourself in the game. There's going to be seasons when you're maybe working harder and you're super focused and you've got a lot of people that are charging with you. And then there's going to be a season where you're rebuilding and you're, reassessing and you're growing in different areas. It's kind of like doing life. That's how Isogenics is. Your Isogenics business is going to be like doing life. It's different seasons, but it is a long game, but it's worth it. I mean, the leadership development, we haven't had a lot of that in these last 2 years. It's kind of a crazy time right now in life for a lot of people in the world. It's crazy. Things have kind of flipped upside down, but we have a community and a culture in this company that is unlike the world right now. It's a place where people are safe, where they can be loved, they can be encouraged, they can grow, they can dream, and all the while fueling their body with the most amazing nutrition in the world, looking and feeling fantastic, keeping their body strong. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, my doctors, and I've had a team of them, have said about me. They're like, we have no explanation for you. We've never seen anything like it. You are so strong. You have gone through this whole situation with all this crazy cancer stuff, and your body is so healthy and so strong. And that's because of Isogenics. I know it is. I mean, it's all that working out all those years, but it is this amazing nutrition in my body. It's made all the difference for me. So I don't know, Lauren, is there anything specific that I didn't?
No, it's so powerful. And the vulnerability that you're sharing, because I know a lot of people didn't know that, and it's powerful. And Jess and I both say to our teams all the time, and you don't know why you're building this business. And sometimes we, get really motivated by short-term goals or want to get out of a job or want to pay off debt. And no one has a crystal ball of why you need this in 5 years or 10 years, or why someone else needs it. And the boldness to share the opportunity. And that's a story. I mean, you all have now heard it directly from her mouth. And that's a story you all have to share with people, to say, I heard this woman and what she started and what it did for her family. And when Jess talks about to be able to put a financial wall around your family, that's what she's talking about. That's exactly what that is. That no matter what, that this is so deep and so that she doesn't have to do it. She's choosing to do this, because of what's happening. I mean, that's what makes all the freedom, all the choice. So one of the things that we were going to chat about is just the tips that you have for going executive. We've got some people that are absolutely going for some goals right now. Jess, I know you were at the mastermind when she stood up to corporate and basically said, we are debunking this myth that Q4 is slow. And so both of our teams are just
that. It was so bold.
trudging right now. I mean, every day, talking to them that they're going to see growth in both of our organizations. And, just some things that you would share on tips that you have taught your team or you've seen for those who go executive that you think could be valuable, or even just anything you want to share around income producing activities and time blocking. We've got a lot of moms and, busy throughout the holidays, but they're pushing for the bonuses, they're pushing for goals before NYKO. And what tips do you have there?
Okay, well, I mean, again, I think that we're in the people business, and I'll talk about time blocking in a minute. But I think a lot of what we do is, again, the excitement around what we're doing and why we're doing it, and then the verbiage, the invitation, the way you're talking about it with people, I think is huge. And when you're getting people started, when I was getting people started, I just share my story. Like literally when I got started, I had like top 10. So if I was getting Lauren started, I would say, Lauren, I'm so excited to get you started. I know you're going to love this nutrition in your body. Who are your top 10 friends? If you're doing it, they're doing it. Who are they? Like, let's reach out to them and just share with them what we're doing. And then, everybody has to have a support team. So we want to have at least 2 people in their life that are committed to partnering with them. So usually it's a husband, and then a mom, a sister, a best friend, whatever it is. And then I share my story. That's what it was for me. So I got started immediately. Of course, my husband, Michael, wanted to do it. So my husband and my sister, Gretchen, jumped on. And then my neighbor, Cheryl Elisara, who has taken my class at the club, she and her husband, Matt, he had weight to lose. They jumped on and we grabbed one of her boys because the boys play sports. And so they need the protein and they were super excited about it. Then my good friend, Kathy and Mark Dresbeck, you know what I mean? I just kind of talked through it. Like, this is how it happened to me. For me, how will it happen for you? Like, who are your top 10? And just kind of make that list with them and then be willing to reach out with them. And if you need help casting a vision or having that verbiage, Jess and Lauren are both masters at that. So I think just keeping it real, conversational and personal. And, everybody just says this all the time. I know she does, that people will do more for others than they'll do for themselves. So like meeting somebody to work out, she always says, if she has to show up at the gym at 5:30 and she's going alone, half the time she probably won't be there. But if she's meeting a girlfriend, 100% of the time she'll be there. And so you just want to encourage people to think about like who in their life is going to want to do it with them. And I know we say that all the time, but really that's what it is. You want to create a little success team or support team with them, because we know that if they have someone to do it with, they're going to have more fun, get better results, and enjoy the process. And so they'll love it. So that's what I always like right out of the gate. I usually get people started as consultants. And I know when you're just starting, it's a little harder. But I think that if you learn the verbiage and you're just like top 10 friends in your life, if you're doing it, they're doing it. Who are they? And you just go through just like that, keep it conversational and brainstorm with them. The other thing, going executive, you've got to be willing to have a lot of conversations. You've got to be willing to just invite people. It's, this is a people business. And one thing that I have seen, I'll tell you in my own personal life, when I started, we had 7 kids at home. So we had all those kids in school. Everybody played sports. We had a big church we were part of. We just had so many networks, so many circles of people in our lives. And one thing that I was really good at and just maybe natural at, but it's again, a skill that you can work and learn, is you can create a warm market anywhere you are, because you connect with your friend or you connect with Susie's friend, and that makes it more of a warm market connection. You're getting to know them and you're just being really great at connecting and then inviting them and then working into their warm market. So it's like Lauren was saying, who do you know? It's not just who you know, it's who they know, and it's getting really good at just winning people over and establishing trust and building it. If you can learn to connect well and do that, you'll never build in a cold market. Does that make sense? Because everyone will become a warm market for you. So going executive, that's what I would say about that. Literally just keep it simple. It's 3 people to create a consultant, and it doesn't have to be big packs. It doesn't have to be a value pack or a president's pack, a value pack is what we call it now. It doesn't even have to be a 30-day. It's 100 BV worth of product. Even with the collagen right now, I think we could do like a total beauty basic pack and get a mom started, get her husband started, get, the Afterglow bundle of collagen, get 4 shakes so they can do 1 shake a day, 2 people for a whole month, and then open up an account in one of the kids for like isogenesis. And so they've got cell replenishment. And I mean, that telomere support product, isogenesis, is off the charts amazing. We haven't been doing a lot of training on that right now, but all the products of Isagenix are stellar. So if you got somebody my age, I'm 57 years old. I was 42 when we started Isagenix. And I, praise God, have not aged 16 years in 16 years. I am grateful. And so get them on a shake a day. The other thing I will tell you, give you some verbiage, is the other day I was shopping at our little organic grocery store here in Spokane. We eat only organic vegetables and, organic food, meat, grass-fed beef, all that kind of stuff. But I just went up for some vegetables. I got a red pepper. It was $2.99. I got a yellow pepper. It was $2.99. I got a organic Haas avocado. It was $3. I got 2 of those. So that was $6. I got a head of romaine lettuce, organic. It was $3.79. I had a bag of 2 peppers, 2 avocados, a head of lettuce, and maybe an onion. And I spent close to $30. And I came home and put it on my kitchen. And then I made myself a shake. And I'm like, here's my little shake that has all of the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that my body needs every day to build strong, healthy cells and to keep me trim. And it's low calorie and nutrient dense superfood for my body for $3.33. It's a complete meal. I mean, I thought that was incredible. And that is a story for right now. That is what we offer with Isagenix. Amazing superfood, nutrient dense, incredible food that's quick and easy for people. It makes eating healthy easy. And it's $3. You can't buy, you can't, inflation, everything is going up, up, up. And we will probably have a little bit of a price increase with Isagenix too. But still, guys, there's nothing better for your body in your pantry than an Isagenix shake. There's just not. So teach people how to redirect money they're already spending on a variety of things that are not serving them. They're tired, they're chubby, they're grouchy, they can't think straight. Show them how to take a portion of that money and up level their nutrition. And so anyway, that's just a creative idea. I would definitely do the collagen because it's making all the difference for people. It's a total wow product. And do shakes and the isogenesis, or do 100 BV of cleanse and the adaptogen elixir or ionic. So you manage their stress, you protect their cells, you feed their bodies, and you nourish their skin.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And if you all are not following that, for anyone who's brand new, please let Jess and I help you. But she's mapping out groups of 3. And what we teach you to order smarter and not harder. If someone's going to order multiple products, they don't need to all go through one account and divide that up. But clearly a husband and wife is simple. And then having a kiddo or, somebody, an adult kiddo, come in, or a friend or whatnot. And that way that they're not only getting a variety, they're getting money back. And if they have people start to share,
and you're hitting your goal, and you're hitting your goal as executive, because you're creating a consultant. And what you're doing is you're showing them how to, shop smart and get paid. Make some money back off of the money that you're already spending at the grocery store, and get a better return on that investment. Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's so brilliant. Okay, so the last thing that I have a question for you, and then you can leave them with whatever you want to leave them, and going into Thanksgiving week with this promo and maybe tips to really go for it. It's just to talk about events. We haven't had an in-person event, in almost 2 years, and with NYKO just on the quarter, just to talk about your experience, why they should go, and if they, for whatever reason, can't go, to really plug in and watch it live. And we definitely want to hear that from you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, for me, it started for me at an event, because my friend Doris, who I love, and she had been doing Isagenix for 8 months, but she couldn't explain it to me. And there's no negative on that. It's how can you really paint the picture of exactly what? Here's Michael. He just wants to say hi really quick.
Hi.
Hi, Michael.
Oh, I miss everybody.
Most supportive husband ever.
He is. He's an awesome supportive husband. Yeah.
All right, back to it. Sorry,
Right,
don't want to interrupt.
no, it's okay. Doris was amazing, but how can one person adequately really cast a vision for what Isagenix can mean for your life? And we can't do it just by ourselves. So literally, I was only 3 weeks in, and she's like, you have to come to Celebration with me. And I'm like, Doris, I didn't even know what Celebration was. And she just was driving me. She's a little tenacious driver too. But I got there, and it's a cool story how it even happened. But that's where it started for me. I had this incredible transformation on the products. And then I got to hear story after story after story of people that had also had life-changing experiences on the products, just feeling and looking amazing. And I'd had the same thing. And then story after story after story of moms that were like making an income, some of them 6 figures. And guys, even in corporate America, I had never made 6 figures before. So I was like, how can that even be possible? But I was hearing all these stories. So there's so much validation. Then Jim and Kathy got on stage, shared their hearts and their passion. I just fell in love with them. And then I heard John Anderson share his story about how Isagenix even came to be. And it was just the most amazing story. I'll save it for another time. But when you're there and you're hearing all these stories and you're seeing all these people and you're getting a big picture view of who Isagenix is and what they have to offer, it makes all the difference. That's why events are so important. And then not only the validation, all the stories of the people they don't even know, but then you come back together with your teams and maybe just your small groups of 2 to 5 to 6 to 10 of you. And you're building community and you're laughing and you're creating memories. And this is where you start. You're laying a foundation for them, a foundation that is going to be strong, that can't be taken away. And for NYKO, we're going to be down in Phoenix. So you're going to be able to take your teams down to the corporate head office, which is so beautiful. That building is amazing. And walk the people through, and they're going to be able to see this is real business. People are really doing this. This is an opportunity for everyday people to be successful. And it gives them hope. Like this could be for me. I want to do this. I want to try. I want to jump in. So that's what I would say about events. Amazing.
Oh my gosh, so good. I've got some people just set up, we've got a couple different chats that they're like, oh my gosh, I love her, and just kind of quoting you. And if you all go through iSaMovie and watch some of the movies, I mean, Cindy's in them because she's so articulate and incredible, but she's just so convicting because she's so truthful. One of the things that I've always really loved about Isagenix, not only with the product transformations, when you hear the real people and real results, but there's no smoke and mirrors here. And there's so much transparency and vulnerability and authenticity. And to see someone in the video, if you watch, oh my gosh, why am I drawing the name? Jessica sends it all the time. The one you're in, Jessica is in, Chris Harder's in. What is the name of that video?
The Next Entrepreneur.
Thanks. I was like, hold on. I was like, this is
it's okay.
My brain just had a. Anyways, when you go on there and you watch them, and then you can say, oh my goodness, that's her, and you start to put that together. I mean, it's such a gift. So I know that we are, coming right up at the top of the hour, and you probably have to do dinner and the East Coast needs to go to bed. But if there's anything you want to just leave them with, with the promo or Thanksgiving or finishing the year strong, the floor is yours. And we are so thankful. And please write in the chat something you learned, something you took away. Give, 10s in the chat if you are so happy that you were on here and grateful that Cindy has blessed us with her wisdom and her grace. And please show her some love. But Cindy, I'll let you close it out. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. Jess and I are so lucky. We're so grateful.
Oh, well, I'm the one that feels so grateful, sincerely. And just like Lauren said, I mean, I guess as I finish up, I want all of you to know without question that Isagenix, like why Isagenix, why now? Isagenix is an incredible vehicle. And even though the world has created a lot of instability in our lives because things are flipping upside down, Isagenix can be a constant. Nothing's changing. We were just in Arizona at the Platinum Retreat, and I'm sure Jess came back and shared a lot of that with you guys. But the thing that I brought back, many things, but the underlying core foundational thing that I brought home is just Jim and Kathy are the same today than they've ever been, 100% committed to the success of not only this company, but we are the company to them. We are their family. They work hard every day because they love you. They want to make an investment in you. This is a worthy calling in your life. This is a worthy investment of your time. Isagenix is an incredible company. I really believe there's no other company in the whole world like Isagenix. It has the power to change and transform families on so many different levels. And so I just want to encourage you, this is real. Just like Lauren said, there's no smoke and mirrors here. There's not a lot of hype and no substance. We are all living the reality of what it's become for our families. And we didn't know in the beginning. We had no clue what it was going to be, how incredible it was going to be, how life-changing, how empowering, how just life-giving. This opportunity, its community, the products, and just how it shaped us. It's fantastic. It really is. So I just want to encourage you that you're in the right place. This is an amazing time. And just like Lauren said, she's right. Never before have they opened a whole week of Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals like this that you can get your friends and family started. And we're going to do a healthy for the holidays, like a healthy eating. I'll send the visuals and you guys can use them if you want and do whatever you want to in your groups. But 20% off on $250 or more plus free shipping. I mean, that's like $50, $60 off a 30-day system, guys. I mean, get your people started or create the 30-day, do the total body beauty pack. Like I said, you can be as creative as you want. Ask people, what is it that they need most? Let me show you how we can meet those needs and really make a huge impact in your life. And the other thing I'm just going to leave you with, actually, I wanted to say this because I feel like right now things have changed a little bit in the marketplace. It's a little bit of a different game out there, even with social media and things like that. And I think it's important that the message that we give people, that we are, like we're saying, there's no smoke and mirrors, like it's legit, honest, authentic what we're saying, that we don't overpromise and underdeliver, that we give people a right expectation of what they can be doing. And the Isagenix is a vehicle. It's a vehicle that creates freedom and choices for families. It's a vehicle that gives you the opportunity to take money you're already spending on a variety of things that are not serving you and invest them wisely, and in partnership with others, build an income producing asset that can take some financial pressure out of your family. There's a lot of people right now that are losing their jobs because they're having to make really hard choices because of what the government's doing. And no matter where you are on either side of that issue, that's a reality for people. And we have a vehicle that can help them. And at the very least, even, ask them even just $2,000 a month, just creating a $2,000 a month consistent income can take so much financial pressure out of a family and give them some time, you know, to figure out what they're doing. You'd have to have what, over $2 million in the bank to have a $2,000 a month income check coming off the dividends of that money. I mean, we can do that in Isogenics pretty, you know, in a pretty good amount of time. If you're working in tandem with a strong team and you're focused, you can do it. You know, we have solutions for what people need right now. That's what I'm trying to say. It's an income producing asset. Maybe it's just to create some lifestyle money, to just take that financial pressure out of the home and to ease things up so they have money for vacations and extra things that they need. It doesn't have to be their be all end all as they start, but certainly it has become that for all of us that have done it. So yeah, we love it. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I love you, Lauren. Love you, Jess. Love the whole team. I just congratulations to all of you for the success that you're creating. You're inspiring me. All that you're doing is so exciting and wonderful. So love you guys. Mwah.
You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. So wonderful. We'll get you the recording. Thank you all. Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Have a good week, you guys. Bye.